Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Minsk Pocket. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. Ralphie Meyers, playing as the Soviet forces in the yellow. And his opponent in the pink or purple trunks, depending your preference, is going to be none other than VindicareX, playing as the Austere or Wehrmacht faction. Should be a good match. I sniped this one from a live game. I did not actually watch it. I just wanted to cast the game with VindicareX because I haven't seen him in a while. At least not in the replays. And, well, let's see how it goes. So off the bat, VindicareX going for tier 1 like you would expect most Austere or Wehrmacht to do. Getting himself Grens and more Grens. Now, by the time this one comes out, I think the patch should be live. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be live later today or earlier today, unless something happens and I can't get the video out. But yeah, I mean, obviously some big changes come in play. One of the bigger changes is that the MG is going to be built from the HQ for the Austere. So yeah, that should make it for some nice and interesting changes into the game. Ralphie Meyers, for his part, no tech. I mean, of course not. He's a Soviet. He's getting himself conscripts and more conscripts, although he did go for a 2 combat engineer opening, yet he didn't use the combat engineer that came into the game, or the second one, I should say, to build tech, which is a bit unusual. I mean, usually you see either just conscripts, or if you do build a second combat engineer, is because you want to build tech, but you don't want to have to retreat your original combat engineer squad. Still, though, nothing bad about this. Still a unit out on the field. Flamethrower upgrade is available, so, you know, it can still work. Center map, first engagement of the game, VindicareX capturing that victory point as the conscripts try to hold it, but 2 Grens, it's too much for one conscript squad, so they retreat rather quickly. They do lose one of their men before retreating, but that is the way of things with the conscripts. Left-hand side, we see the combat engineers being utilized to cap. Both of them at the same time. And on the far right-hand side, we see conscripts also going around for Mr. Meyers. VindicareX, for his part, got a 3rd Grand Squad and is now working on the MG42. Ralphie Meyers is not getting anything just yet, although it looks like he went ahead and got Molotovs, so that's nice. I'm going to see a lot of Molotov play here. Well, I can only assume, considering that he got Molotovs. We have conscripts coming up for a side attack with conscripts through the front, so nice little setup here for a flank. Molotovs will be flying, I assume. No Molotovs just yet. Conscripts in the front, setting up on the Grens. The Grens focusing fire on the right-hand side conscript squad. They now turn to face a conscript squad that is out in the open. Molotov flies, second Molotov flies, forcing the Grens to move terrain, and this 3rd conscript squad comes into the engagement. Conscripts are managing to stay alive. A flank here by the combat engineers, forcing the retreat of both of the Grens, and nice control here by Meyers. He manages to inflict a decent amount of damage on the Grens and win the engagement, building himself another conscript squad to bolster his unit count. And the combat engineers on the far south is retreating, as it seems they ran themselves into that MG42. Far right-hand side, Grens and Pios are capturing some more territory. We have conscripts over here to try to deny the Pios from laying down the wire. VindicareX obviously knows that that is a strong choice. Does sacrifice that strategic point on the right-hand side, but if he cuts off that approach, it makes it easier to funnel all the Soviet troops into his MG fire, so it is, of course, in his best interest to do so. Conscript squad getting mauled close range by the SMGs of the Pios. The Pios managing to win the engagement, as it was only an already weakened conscript squad. They are going to go for the cap of the point. The wire has not been laid down, but the flames are still there, so they probably don't want to do that. Pios going to be forced to pop into the house as combat engineers come in that direction, and a conscript squad and a second combat engineer squad is being involved in the engagement. Grand Squad moving up to support. The combat engineers will lose here, so they have to retreat, but they are getting supported here by 2 more squads, so they will, you know, well, actually, they may die. Nope, there you go. Combat engineer retreats. Conscripts and combat engineers on top of the Grens, forcing the retreat, and the Pios are still holed up in the house and now kind of cut off from their retreat path. Center map, we see a Pio squad coming up on top of a conscript. More conscripts pushing forward. The MG42 has been pushed back. Still at 3 men strong, but I can only assume that it got Molotoved. Maybe it got flanked and was forced to retreat. Conscripts engaging against the Pios at close range. That's a 3-man conscript squad. Gonna die quickly if it doesn't retreat. It does retreat. Manages to stay alive, but just barely. Another conscript squad coming up on the Pios. The Grents are supporting 2-man Grent squad. Not gonna be able to do too much damage, but there's a full squad behind that. Oh, Molotov landing nicely on the Pios, but they do retreat, not wanting to die to the fires. The tree there catches ablaze. And the conscripts are now right on top of the second Grand squad. The 2-man squad is still far back and providing some fire support, so the conscripts will lose the engagement, and VindicareX manages to stabilize it there. Pios popping out of the house in the north, capturing the strategic point. We see the combat engineers moving up on the Pios. The Pios, again, will lose since they are already down 1 man. So Vindicare retreats, knowing that it is, well, kind of useless to just go all out. Medics have been researched for Meyers, so he's going to be able to get those troops back out at full strength. Back at base, we do see a med bunker going down as well for VindicareX. So he obviously knows the value of having full health squads. And then we just have troops moving around in the center. So the MG covering the center path. Again, the path on the north has not been closed, so it's still wide open for a flank. We see a Grand squad moving in that direction. Going to be engaged by combat engineers and Pios. Not Pios. Why do I keep saying Pios? Conscripts. They move themselves into the heavy cover, although they're not getting the benefit of the heavy cover, weirdly, in that spot. Like, the cover is there, but not where they are. I don't know. But anyways, Molotov flies, they retreat, they know they can't win that engagement by themselves, and away they go. MG42, vulnerable here to a flank, may want to reconsider positioning itself in another angle, but for now it's going to hold. Oh, excuse me. Tier 2 down for VindicareX, getting himself a half-track. Always a good choice. I like the half-track. Gives you a lot of versatility, and obviously that reinforcing on the fly of your troops is super strong. And so far we don't see any tech for Ralphie Meyers. VindicareX has selected his doctrine, and that is the Lightning War doctrine. Will allow him to get those Jaeger light infantry, G43s basically. MG42 getting a bit flanked there by the conscripts. More conscripts coming up behind it. MG42 trying to set up to stop the flanking troops. Gets itself Molotov. Able to get a burst out, but not even able to get suppression going. Gonna be cleared out here. Looks like VindicareX will be losing that MG. The MG is down. The MG gets stolen. The Grens are turning themselves on the stolen MG. The Pios are also trying to help. A lot of damage goes down. A nice grenade goes off, and the MG is cleared out. Nice. Molotov flies it where the MG was. Ralphie Meyers desperately trying to take that MG. The MG is currently in the flames and only ends up losing a lot of his troops. Half-track on the field. The conscripts are still trying to go for the steal of the MG. May be able to get it this time. They are sitting in the flame. They're taking a lot of damage by the infantry, so no, they're not going to make it out there alive. They'll retreat and move the MG down the line a little bit more, but... there it goes. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, is he going to get away? But no, it stays alive, and there it goes. Pios are going to rush to it. They're going to be able to reinforce it, and a nice attempt there by Ralphie Meyers, but I feel that he sacrificed too much to try to get that MG. And the half-track proving to be the ace in the hole there for VindicareX, turning that engagement pretty much is, well, how do I want to say it? Not supremely, but decisively in his favor. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Combat engineers and conscripts capturing the far right-hand side. We got Grens moving in to engage. Grens have acquired veterancy 2. We see Pios building a bunker in the center. Interesting positioning for the bunker. A little bit vulnerable there from the side again, since the flank is completely open, but we'll see. Rifle grenade going off on the conscripts over here on the right-hand side. We have G43s equipped on the Grens. The Grens able to provide a lot of firepower there. And the conscripts down to 3 men forced to retreat. They kind of dodged the nade a little bit, but they're still far superior now, especially now with the G43s. Ralphie Meyers moving around. We have conscripts on the left-hand side. A little bit set up there for a flank. The MG42 covering the center. But it looks more like they're trying to go for just general capping of territory. We got mines laid down in choke points there for Ralphie Meyers. Very nice. And it seems like he's going forward to get an AT grenade going off on the half-track. Nope. Currently focusing on Molotovs and the MG. The MG is forced to pack up. Yeah, AT grenade does go off. hitting the half-track, but there's no follow-up, so again, still not a bad thing to do. Kind of sucks when you do it just for the sake of doing it, right? Pyro squad down to one man. The conscripts may be able to pick it up, but it looks like they decide to disengage. Small arms fires can take down a half-track, so Ralphie Meyers is in pursuit. The MG has been forced back, but we do have a bunker down. No, the bunker does not have an MG. I thought it may have an MG right now. And the gunner has been killed on the top of the half-track, so the conscripts are able to pursue it without any opposition. Another AT grenade goes off, and down goes the half-track. A lot of investment there in munitions by Ralphie Meyers to take down that half-track, so maybe not worth it, but so far it's good. I mean, it forced Vindicare off of the field. All his troops are pretty much out of commission right now, and they have to reinforce. Right-hand side, the Grens, 3-man strong, G43s, force away our conscript squad down to 1 man. Stay alive, and on the left-hand side, Gren squad again, 3 men, going to be engaging a 6-man conscript squad. Down to 2 men quickly in the engagement, so VindicareX immediately retreats. The med bunker is going to have its work cut out for it. We have Pyos trying to reinforce before they head out. MG now back to full strength. Grans and Pyos having to reinforce and all that. So yeah, VindicareX not having an easy time there. Ralphie Meyers being very aggressive with all the conscripts. Tier 2 to Tier 3. Ralphie Meyers not getting anything from Tier 2, but giving himself the option to get the AT guns, which is always a good decision. Tier 3 does not have the best. Wow, why did I say it like that? The best anti-tank options, at least not currently. In the patch that should come out today, if I put it out right. The Tier 3 should now have the Su-76, right? The T-34 was the one that was moved to Tier 4. So, yeah, I mean, Su-76, you know, pretty fragile all in all, but it's relatively good against vehicles and tanks, especially in the last buff that it got. Ralphie Meyers laying down some mines. The Pyos somehow not hitting them. We got combat engineers on the far right-hand side capturing that victory point. Center map, we have the MG42 capturing the victory point as well. Left-hand side, Grens behind the lines. Pyos going for the cap of this point as we have conscripts engaging at long range against Pyos. These Pyos will win the engagement against the close-up conscripts as they kind of spot the other ones a little bit further behind. Something got hit. Ah, there we go. Grand Squad nailing that mine. I'll see if I can catch it in the moment. 13 minutes, yeah. See if I can catch it in the moment so that we look at the actual explosion. But yeah, the Grand Squad catches that mine. Forces the retreat, so the right-hand side is still in control from Meyers, whatever. MG42 setting up right next to the bunker, providing a lot of anti-infantry firepower. The MG42 now getting flanked. It did get the pin down on that conscript squad, but these conscripts over here, Ura on top of it, getting a kill on one of its members, but the MG's still there on the bunker. MG42 can turn itself around. No, it decides to actually focus on the left-hand side flank. Grants are going to be covering the rear of the bunker. And yeah, we should have a lot of troops of conscripts just spread around for Ralphie Meyers. As we have a Pyro squad up in the north, almost getting killed there by those conscripts, down to 1 man. Taking some shots on the retreat, but still alive. Second Pyro squad holding up in that house. And the MG is repositioning itself as it pushes forward. Ura by the conscripts of Ralphie Meyers, trying to cross distances very quickly. It can catch up to these Grens. The Grens are going to get engaged by 2 conscript squads. Both of them Uraing away. Very, very aggressive here. Looks like he does not want to let that victory point be taken. Conscripts falling a little bit as they get on top of the Grand Squad. Second conscript squad coming up for the engagement. The conscripts will move themselves to the other side. It looks like they were on move order. So we now have a T-34 on the field for Ralphie Meyers, which is probably being focused right now on his control. They focus now down the Gren on the left-hand side. Force a retreat. And we see something getting killed there. Pyro squad? Yeah, I think it was a Pyro squad. See if I can catch it again. T-34 clearing out the bunker in the center. Not much you see there. T-34 now moving on into the base. We do have a pack gun now in the field for VindicareX, and obviously we have Fausts available to the Grens. T-34 in position to be able to take down this Grand squad. Combat Engineer squad being spared here as the Grens do well, they don't want to die to that T-34. Combat engineers and conscripts just capturing all the left-hand side that was captured by the Grens, and Ralphie Meyers once again taking control of the map quite effectively. MG42 set up to stop the capping of the fuel in the center of the map, or I guess outside of VindicareX base. No strategic points currently connecting it, but the conscript squad does get pinned down, denying the cap of that. Strategic point on the right-hand side gets capped, so that allows the connection of that fuel, so at least VindicareX has fuel. And he has tier 4 down. Interesting. Skipping tier 3 altogether. Strong option, of course. Oh, nasty hit there by the T-34. Nails 3 of the members of the MG crew, forcing the retreat, opening up the front. Gren's moving in to replace it. Pack gun is set up there to stop the T-34. T-34 took a shot to the face, and now it needs repairs. Unfortunately, the Russian crews do not know how to repair their vehicles, so it needs help of the combat engineers. Another Pio squad on the field now for Vindicare. Looks like he is adamant about having 2. And it makes sense if he's going to be getting himself probably a Panther from tier 4. He wants to have that Panther at full strength as often as he can, so that it can take the brunt of the assaults against enemy armor. And you want to get it out there quickly to be able to hunt down. So, yeah. Wise decision. Mine over here got hit at some point. See if I can catch that hit. Maybe it was important. Yeah. See if I remember what the hell. Right. Grans and Pios, left-hand side, trying to get some more territory. Conscripts pushing forward, supported by the T-34. T-34 has nothing to fear right now, but we do have the pack gun in the center of the map. Gonna get some shots on the side of the T-34. T-34 taking 1 shot. Second shot may go down through the hedge. No, not going to be targeted manually, so the pack gun unable to finish it. We do have a G43 equipped Grand Squad in the center against combat engineers with flamethrowers. Who wins that engagement? Well, it looks like it's going to be the Grens. Grens picking up a lot of infantry there. Pack gun moves up to cover the front as the T-34 turns itself around and is apparently going to go back home. Oh, maybe actually getting caught here by the pack gun. The pack gun very close, but it looks like there's nobody nearby to be able to stop the T-34, and the T-34 just strolls away with its tank tracks, whatever. Piles on the left-hand side and piles on the right-hand side, capturing some territories. Conscripts moving over to the right-hand side victory point. Victory points are 425, or well, 24 now, for Ralphie Meyers and 254 for VindicareX. So Ralphie Meyers also doing a very good job at putting the pressure on with the victory points, has bled VindicareX to half the points. Pile squad getting assaulted here by conscripts. MG set up to defend it, so the conscripts will be suppressed and pinned down. They need to retreat. Second conscript squad decided to ignore it and go for the victory point, and that will punish this forward conscript squad. Conscript squad still sitting there, and we see an incendiary barrage on top of the MG42. MG42 taking a loss, but still 3-man strong. Pio is going to be forced to retreat through the flames. Very risky maneuver here, as they may take enough damage to kill them. Down to 1. Ooh, gets the crit on 1, but the second guy makes it out of there alive, just barely. Easy sails from there on, so should be fine. Grens in the center, pushing forward. Conscript squad getting G43 in the face. Takes a lot of damage in that sense. AT gun is on the field, of course. Ralphie Meyer hasn't really done too much, but now comes the barrage, nailing the point, but missing the Grand squad. Grand squad moving around, knows that the spread is enough to actually hit it if it's too close. So there's no reason for it to get too close if the other squad is capping. T-34 back to full strength. Left-hand side, more conscripts engaging against a Pio squad, so the Pios retreat. And we have yet to see any vehicle coming out for VindicareX. Ralphie Meyer has selected his Doctrine, and that is the shock rifle frontline tactics. Has not, well, I mean, it's not necessarily, telltale sign. I mean, he has obviously used the incendiary barrage, but there's other Doctrines that have that. So far, not tipping his hand completely, but considering VindicareX and his experience with the game, probably knows that it's shock rifles. So KV-8s and IS-2s are a distinct possibility. T-34 moving over to the right-hand side to support the conscripts. We also see a mortar coming onto the field for Ralphie Meyers. It's an interesting choice. We don't have too many static emplacements for Vindicare. I mean, the bunker has already gone down. It was set up in the middle of the field. And aside from the MG and the pack gun, everything else is relatively mobile. We do see VindicareX now going for the Panther. Like we said, the Panther seems to be the best choice in the current situation there. It's, you know, half decent against infantry. It has MGs and such, so at least it provides a little bit of damage. And of course, it is superb against those T-34s and such with its good armor and good punch. Conscripts getting pushed back by the G43s. T-34 kind of there to support it. Vindicare knows that he could potentially snatch a kill here by the T-34 if it keeps it in this location. Could easily sneak up, get a Faust going on it to crit it, but I don't think a Faust on a full strength T-34 will get the crit on the engine, so maybe not gonna work. Conscripts pushing forward. They got a little bit spread out there by their own T-34, so the 2 men at the front died, but the squad remains alive and retreats. Conscripts coming up for a flanking maneuver here on those Grens. The Gren's going to be moving up, getting a Faust going on that T-34. T-34 gets Fausted in the face, but again, it doesn't crit the engine, and we have the Panther now in pursuit. The Conscripts do not manage to throw an AT grenade, even if they do throw an AT grenade. Oh, getting crushed. 3 crushes right away for that Panther. AT grenade goes off on the rear armor, but that is not going to get a crit on the engine. Remember, that was changed. T-34 taking the shot at the Panther. The Panther is now in pursuit of T-34. Can he pick up the kill on that one? We shall see. Shot on the rear armor. Down goes. AT gun sets up to defend it. Nice control there by Ralphie Meyers, anticipating and moving the AT gun in a perfect angle to the support, and it forces the Panther to back off. Too risky there to go balls deep. Conscripts would have been able to snare it. AT gun would have been able to take it out, so yeah. Good decisions on both sides. Combat engineers on the left-hand side engaging Grens. One of them does have a flamethrower, so it's going to do a lot of damage to the Grens, although they are out in the open. So the flamethrower, unless I'm mistaken, is less effective. It is more effective the heavier your cover. And if you're out in the open in negative cover, it's actually less effective. So unless it was changed from, you know, Company Heroes 1, I think that's how it works. VindicareX laying down some S minefields on the far left-hand side point. Unable to capture the point as the Pyos moved out of the way, but it will make it so that infantry moving in that direction will have a bad time. And we see the mortar taking some shots at something. Hasn't hit anything just yet, but there goes. Mines in the center point. These Grens are going to run straight into it. Well, that one Gren is going to run straight into it. Rifle grenade goes off. Oh, nice hit there. Mine getting hit by the Gren squad, only losing 1 man, so pretty ineffective mine. Mortar down to 2 men. Stays alive, though, and probably just going to retreat and get healed up and reinforced. Panther in the center has not gotten repaired. Needs some repairs relatively quickly. Left-hand side. Oh, Conscript squad getting annihilated there by the S minefields as the Pyos just sit there and laugh. Captured the point and has killed off a squad. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, those S minefields are deadly. If you just send your troops on move orders and are not aware, you're just going to get hit so many times. AT gun and conscripts on the right-hand side. VindicareX recovering most of the territory now. Center map getting capped. Gren's going to be capturing that fuel. And the pack gun moves up to even be utilized to cap as well. Pyos now going to get some repairs going on that Panther. Second Pyo squad is not nearby, so it's not going to be able to do that. Conscript squad also getting hit a lot by those S minefields, manages to get into position and cap the point. But there's still some S minefield right there, some mines, I guess. Oh, the crawling guys actually end up detonating that. I did not know that. I mean, I suppose that's correct, as these guys are technically alive. One of the cool visual things, but it doesn't really have much of an impact in the game. It does give, you do have this ability, it says, which includes training and interrogation, which lets you do something. I don't actually even know what it does. I'll check it in a little while. Grand squad and conscripts engaging over here on the right-hand side. The Grens retreat as it is through conscripts. Center map, we hear some shots going off. We do have an MG in the center, and on the left-hand side, conscripts retreat down to 1 man through the S minefield. What does it say? It says G43 is interrogating of enemy casualties to reveal position. Now, I haven't seen this used too much, and I don't know exactly how it works, because I don't play Austere too much, especially not with G43s. So there is some usage for it, but generally, this type of thing, at least like, for example, in the original Company Heroes, you would see it because the Wehrmacht and the US had the medic stations and the bunkers, the medic bunkers, that would go out and the medics would pick up these guys that are dead but, you know, still alive and crawling. And And, you know, you can make those zombie squads, which was cool. I mean, that's no longer the case in Company Heroes 2. No faction, at least not so far. I don't actually think the British have anything like that. Maybe they do. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to experiment with it too much, time constraints and such. But oh, and well, there we go. I don't know why we got that big stutter, but got it. AT gun nailing the Panther in the front, forcing it to back off a little bit. We do still have... Wait, no, that's not T-34. That's an IS-2 on the field for Ralphie Meyers. IS-2 now making an appearance. That Panther is in not bad shape. Panther's actually pretty good at taking out IS-2s, but it does need a little bit of support from the pack gun. And, of course, not get surprised there by the T-34. T-34 does have that ramming ability, which is now very RNG dependent, which makes it bad. But, you know, it could always... work and get that lucky crit. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, well those troops, you know, when they die and they're calling around, you could pick them up and use them to make reformed squads for free after you recovered a certain number of them. But that is not the case currently in Company Heroes 2, but you still have that, which, like I said, it's still a nice little visual thing, but it has very little impact in the game, because aside from the G43s being able to interrogate those guys, which is, you know, I don't see many people doing. Kind of weird. Like, it has it right there, casualty interrogation. Like, interrogate enemy casualties to briefly reveal all enemy positions in the minimap. I mean, that's how it works, but I don't think I've seen them use it. Anyways, aside from that, I don't think there's anything else that interacts with that, aside from mines blowing up because of them. Grants and Combat Engineers engaging on the far left-hand side. IS-2 going to be putting an end to that engagement. As he takes a shot. Oh, Grand Squad down to one man. Needs to instantly retreat. VindicareX trying to keep his Gren alive. Will the IS-2 pick him up? Well, not so far. And the Grens seem to get out of there. Just barely. Tiger now on the field for Mr. Vindicare. Heading out right now. So that levels out the field. Almost puts it in his favor. But it all depends on control, I suppose. Could easily lose everything without getting any enemy kills. Combat Engineer squad getting engaged by the Panther. Down goes one Combat Engineer. Second Combat Engineer still sitting there. Gets annihilated by the MGs. Like I said, the Panther's main gun itself is not that great against infantry. It's, you know, it'll get hits every once in a while. But the fact that it has the gunner on top and the coaxial gun and such, those do decent damage. You saw there the kill. Tiger in the center moving around. Pack gun moving back. It knows that a T-34 is here, but there's also a conscript squad veteran C3 in the way. Left-hand side, the IS-2 moving around with the MG and the AT gun as well. Panther backing off, still at full strength. It's a little bit of a, not stalemate, but standoff. It's more what I want to say. Ooh, VindicareX putting the MG on the far right-hand side, trying to keep that point. 229 points in his favor, 212 now for Ralphie Meyers. So Ralphie Meyers actually ending up losing the victory point game up to this point. He had quite a lead and hasn't seemed to be able to keep it up. And the conscripts do get suppressed and pinned down, so they have to GTFO. Far left-hand side, conscripts capturing some points. The IS-2 still there. And in the center, we have the pack gun and the MG covering, so that's the second MG. Yeah, there you go, you can see it there.
Enemy is down to 200 points.
T-34 getting killed on the right-hand side. I missed it completely, so we'll see if we can catch that on the picture. Conscripts push forward. Looks like they're going to get an AT grenade going off on the Tiger, but again, without getting the damage on the Tiger itself down to 75% strength, you're never going to get that crit. Panther moving around on the left-hand side. Pios and G43 Grens engaging conscripts. Conscripts are veterans of 3. Panther engaging another conscript squad. We do have the IS-2 moving around. AT gun coming up. They're going to get a cutoff here on that Panther. So the Panther may be in bad shape here. We see an incendiary barrage getting called in on something. Center map. Nothing getting hit there, it looks like. MG may have gotten hit and forced to retreat. Yeah, did. Conscript squad retreating through the path of the Panther. The Panther going to be getting some shots on it, but is now getting shot on the rear by the IS-2 and the AT gun. Can Vindicare get the Panther out of there? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so. Main gun destroyed on the Panther. The IS-2 is in pursuit. One more shot should finish it off. And Oh, actually bounces it off. AT gun could get the shot. There it does. There it goes. So almost gets out of there, but Ralphie Meyers manages to pick up an eye for an eye. You kill my T-34, I kill your Panther. So it's now Tiger versus IS-2. AT guns in the mix, but we do have conscripts suffering quite a bit. AT gun moving around. We have lost quite a bit for Ralphie Meyers. He had a lot more troops, and he's now down to 3 conscript squads. Mortar in the center, forced to retreat as the Tiger just moves around by itself. And on the far left-hand side, Grand Squad is retreating in the face of that AT gun. Tiger moving up through the center. Mortar retreating. Conscripts moving out. More conscripts moving out. And victory points are currently triple capped against Ralphie Meyers, down to 153 points. AT gun going to be used to cap the point on the left-hand side to try to stop the bleed. Center point, we see IS-2 and Tiger engaging. Well, not engaging, but gonna be engaging. There we go. Tiger getting a nice shot on the IS-2. IS-2 returning a shot, but missing. Conscript's pushing forward. We do have a mine right there for the Grens. Conscript's going to be engaged by the Tiger. The IS-2 continues to support. Shot flies at the Tiger. Gets a crit on, well, not a crit, but a penetration through the frontal armor. And it is now basically a face-to-face fight. Conscript squad did get taken out. And, oh, even before the resolution of the engagement, Ralphie Meyers throws in the towel as he's lost too much. And yeah, you can tell by the army value, 48 to 79. Quite a bit of loss. He did still have a lot of manpower and fuel. Obviously can't call in a second IS-2 until he loses that, because remember that that was changed. But yeah, I guess he knew he was in bad shape, and victory points were no longer in his favor. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.